All right, so Cassie, her husband doesn't want her to get Botox because he thinks it's going to be a gateway drug to more plastic surgery.
My friend is considering getting Botox for the first time.
Do it! No, sorry. Do it! Is that all out?
And, she had been thinking about it on and off, and she finally decided, I think I'm going to do it. And because it's such a big... For her, a big deal, she decided to just tell her husband what she was thinking. The same way you would, if you're going to get your hair cut super short, she doesn't need his permission, she tells me, but she wants him in on the decisions, looped in, right?
Yeah, that was her first mistake.
Yeah, it definitely was.
And I'm not saying that to be a hater wife, but I'll tell you, I endorse Atlanta Face and Body. Ding! And anytime I go get anything done, I notice it. My husband doesn't say a word. He is completely oblivious to any injectable I get, to any facial I get, to any type of treatment I get. I'm not kidding you. That man has never once noticed anything I've done to my face.
Now you just said it. He's going to be staring at your face real hard when you get home. But so she said, and his response was no. And she's like, what do you mean, no? I'm not asking for permission. She told me she's starting to get really annoyed now because she had done all the thought behind this and the thinking and the research and the talking to people and had come to this decision as a capable, independent adult. And he's like, no, it's a gateway. Next thing you know, you're looking like Cat Lady. And she's like, I'm just getting some Botox for my forehead wrinkles. I'm not going to go and inject up my face and blow my lips up to half my face. But his thing is once you get a taste, you're going to keep going. And she's like, okay, so what if I do keep going? What if that's how I want to look? What if that's what I want to do to my body? It's my choice. And he's like, I just don't, he said, her words were, I just think that you're going to regret it if you get this, and then you're going to want more and more and more every time. And she's like, okay, well, maybe I will want more and maybe I won't. Maybe I just want to foray into this one little corner to make myself feel better about how I look because I don't like this one problem area. And so it sparked a debate between us because I'm on her side, right? But at the same time, when you're in a relationship, in a marriage like that, does the other partner, the dude or your spouse, get a say on cosmetic changes that are bigger than just a haircut?
I feel like you can have an opinion, but you don't get a say. And you can let your friend know as somebody, and I no shame in my injectable game. This is my preference. I've been doing some form of neurotoxin since I was in my 20s, right? And that was the only thing I did for 10 plus years. And then I started venturing into a little filler here or, another type of treatment to something called therapy to do a little lift or whatever. So while I do think that can be the case for some, and I know somebody that went to the extreme once they started doing it because you don't see it. And so you need more to actually see the effects of what you're doing. And it can be excessive. While I do think that that's the case, I think those are the exceptions. I think overall, a majority of people, it's not a gateway. They do it. They like the result and they keep it moving.
I think that's his fear, is that she won't notice the changes and then more and more and more. But my thing is with her, though, I'm like, when your spouse is so adamantly against something, yes, they don't get a say, but when they're like, no, I hate it. I don't want to do it. Absolutely not. Please don't. Do you, as part of a partnership, should you listen to your spouse and be like, okay, I understand this is an optional procedure. You're so against it. I don't have to do this. Should I take a step back and not do it?
I would consider it. That's as far as I would be able to go with my significant other, because I got to be with me more than you have to be with me. And I don't want to look at something that I don't particularly like about myself all day long if I don't have to. So if she felt adamant about me going a different direction, I would consider it. But my final say would definitely come from me.
Yeah, well, I got the nose job before I got Botox, so I'm not really the best spokesperson for if this is a gateway drug or not. But I think she should pretend that he does have a say just for the sake of keeping the peace, because we know it's probably not going to be that big of a deal. But in his mind, he thinks that she's going to look like some crazy Muppet by getting all these injectables. So I think what she should do is say, listen, this is really important to me. This is something I want to do. How about this? this. If you feel like my face gets to a point where it looks too crazy, injectable-y, too muppety, I'll give you permission to tell me to stop or to tell me to get fillers dissolved or whatever. Because at the end of the day, we know the Botox is going to wear off and it's not going to look that extreme. But in his mind, he feels like he gets a say and he feels like he has some kind of say in how his partner looks, but not actually. So I feel like we should just trick a man into letting us get the Botox.
Maybe I'll tell her about the KK school of thought where just do it and don't say anything.
I'm like, full disclosure, my now husband, who was my then boyfriend, was adamantly against it. I mean, it was the exact same situation you're speaking of with your friend. And he was like, if you do that, I'm going to break up with you, blah, 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 blah. And I mean, I don't know what this says about us. I don't know what this says about me. But I did it, and here we are 18 years later.
The Bert Show.